Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Jaquan,
I'm Jasmine.
and welcome to the Film Spill.
So today, guys, we're going to be reviewing the movie Morbius. This is an action fantasy film, and here is the summary. Dangerously ill with a rare blood disorder and determined to save others from the same fate, Dr. Morbius attempts a desperate gamble. While at first it seems to be a radical success, a darkness inside of him is soon unleashed.
Yeah. So let's get into my rating. So I gave this film a 1.5. It wasn't really that good to me. I felt like it was kind of like all over the place. I feel like Sony has been doing that a lot with a lot of their Spider-Verse movies. I feel like they're trying their best to kind of tell these stories, but a lot of them just cannot stand on their own. So let's get into my pros, my cons. So my pros for this film is I like the air flying from Morbius, even though I don't understand how it works. Just seeing it was kind of cool. It was different compared to other creatures I've seen in films that are flying. I like how he controls bats to fight when he fought against Milo. I thought that was really dope to see, just his control of the bats. And I also like his echolocation powers. That was really cool to see. So the cons, let's get into my cons. There were a lot of cons. The first con I have is I thought in the beginning where it shows him cutting his hand with the vampire bats and then flying toward him was how he got his powers. But I guess that was how he caught the bats or something. I was just kind of confused this whole time from the trailer. I just thought that was how he got his actual powers, not going through a procedure. The next con that I have is the CGI of both vampires were horrible. They looked like thriller zombies. I don't know what direction they were trying to go. Sony was trying to go as far as their looks, but yeah, it was not appealing and it was horrifying to watch. The third con I have was how come Milo, who turned into a vampire after Morbius he was basically stronger than him. Not only was he strong, but he was more skilled than him, right? So I just felt like that was weird when he got his powers, or he became a vampire after Morbius, and Morbius had more time to kind of learn and kind of control, his powers. So that was weird. The next con was them adding Vulture to the movie. It looked so forced. Like how come this guy gets in a strange new world, then he finds his doctor and was like, let's team up. Like that was just strange. And I guess maybe you can say it's because they was writing about, him having, these powers. But once again, like, how do you find this person though, right? It's like me just teleporting to a new universe and I just automatically know how to find someone. Like, that was just strange. And then basically just say, hey, let's fight this guy named Spider-Man. It's like Morbius don't know him. Like, that doesn't even, just how they just put that together just didn't make sense. The jail scene when he first got locked up, that was kind of one of the biggest cons I had. And he was talking to Tyrese and the other cop, and he basically was telling them, hey, I need blood. You wouldn't like me when I'm hungry. He showed them that he was a vampire, and they basically was like, no, we're not going to give it to you, and it's time for us to leave. They just basically left and left this vampire with all these regular people. Like, that was just weird to me. Like, there's no special place, like, how in Avengers they have like the Raft or something in Marvel, the Marvel films. It just threw this guy in a regular jail. That was just crazy to me. But other than that, those are my cons. And like I say, I don't think Sony did a good job with this film. I didn't like it.
Yeah, so basically, I agree. I give the film a 1.5 out of 5. The vampires, they were just so ugly. They looked like zombies. I didn't like how his ears and his eyes looked when he did that echolocation thing. That wasn't cool. Like you said, it was very strange, basically, that nobody batted an eye when they were fighting in the subway. It's like they were used to it or something. Like, I think it would be weird if I just see like some vampires flying around or fighting, but nobody batted an eye. They just kept going on about their day. Like he said, it was cool when he was flying in front of the train, but like, I don't understand how he was flying. Nobody said anything when he was walking in the hospital when that nurse died, when Milo killed that nurse.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's a famous doctor. He works in this hospital every day, all the time.
For a long
and he
time.
used the cane. So nobody was asking him how was he walking. Just walking around regular. Nobody said nothing to him. That was weird. It was crazy when Milo was beating him up so bad and he went through the ground with him. That was crazy. The army of bats were cool, but I was like, I know they not about to do nothing to Milo because Milo's just too strong. So the army of bats was cool, but they couldn't really beat up nobody. They was like pinning him down a little bit, but they can't beat him up. And then how do you say her name? Martine?
I believe, yeah.
So my last thing is when Martine was dying in Morbius' arms, she kisses him, bites his lip, licks his blood, and dies. And then he drinks her blood, and later she becomes a vampire from that one drop of blood she looked. And he was like, "Why did she bite him?"
Yeah, and that was the thing we was talking. You was like, "Oh, I thought she was already a vampire." I'm like, she wasn't. What made her randomly just say, "Before
I'm
I
about to
die,
bite your lip.
I'm gonna bite your lip"? That
And
was
lick your blood. I mean, she had to swallow that drop of blood, basically.
yeah.
That was weird. So in the end, this wasn't a really good movie.
Basically, wasn't that good. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it if you are into stuff like that. You know, definitely check it out. But yeah, that's not something that I would possibly recommend. I don't think Sony did a good job. So just like always, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. You guys have a good one.